Hi, welcome to my channel. My name is Nicole, and today I wanted to speak a little bit on spiritual warfare and why God allows it to happen. Now I know that many may feel that if you are a child of God and you are living uprightly, a blameless and repentant lifestyle, why is this happening to you? Or you may even have some that's not even living that way, but they feel like they believe in God and they trust in God, or they're a follower of Christ, that these things shouldn't be happening. And for both groups, it happens ultimately for the same reason, and it has a lot to do with God is pushing you into something, and that something is always an improvement, is always something higher, is always something greater in your life. And depending on where you are in your walk with Him, it could be pushing you into living a more blameless lifestyle, a more repentant lifestyle, more uprightly. It could be or it could be pushing you into, if you're already living that way, into your purpose, the greater purpose. And it's usually something that not only push you into purpose or push you into greater things or higher heights, but it's also it's almost like an iron that's sharpening you, because it helps to equip you with the tools that you need when you're warring with the spiritual warfare, or through spiritual warfare prayers, fasting, or whatever, however your posture is when it comes to spiritual warfare, the spiritual warfare that's attacking you. It is ultimately there to improve you in some form or fashion. And it is pushing you into greater things. And God allows it to do these things for that very reason. It's like a Romans 8:28, where all things work together for the good of those who are called according to His purpose. It is helping you. And this is one of the things that we tend to not think of when it comes to the warfare. I myself, I get weary sometimes. It becomes a bit overwhelming, but I begin to remind myself that I have to keep my focus on God, because if I don't keep my focus on God, I will forget what the purpose behind it is. And I will also forget that God is bigger than any warfare that's coming towards us. And a curse without cause cannot, it will not stick. So if I am living a certain way, I'm living blamelessly and uprightly, the curses, the spells, the whatever the enemy's throwing at me, it's not going to stick as long as I continue to live that way and I keep my focus on God. When I keep my focus on God, when I'm going through these extreme, intense warfare moments, it allows me to focus on what it is that God is trying to, prune me for in that hour, or prune me in that season, or why He's allowing this thing to crush me, or He's allowing this thing to pressure me. Ultimately, we are, this pressure is to create diamonds, but at the same time, when you're going through it, you're not thinking of it that way unless your gaze and your focus is on God. So that is the number one thing that helps me to get through it without, breaking. allowing God to strengthen me when I am weak, praying and crying out to God in those moments where I feel weak, just so that He could supernaturally strengthen me to continue to fight. Because the more I take this approach, the quicker I will receive my greater, the quicker it will be that I would get to that wherever He's elevating me to, the more equipped I'll be for that next level. Because remember, each level we go to, we're dealing with something that's even stronger than what we're dealing with on this level. So again, it's like an iron that's sharpening us, and as well as equipping us. And the more we, praise God, the more we focus on God, the more we get into the Word, the more we realize how, easier it is to flow through it or to move through it. It's not as effective as it is when we're just standing still and not doing anything, or we're standing still wondering why is it happening to us, versus why is it happening to us? Why is God allowing it for me to feel it? Why is God allowing me to move through it? Or why is He even crushing me? What is the ultimate goal? And once I put my mind on that, I can continue to move forward and get the things, the rewards that He has in store for me. Because I don't know about you, but I've been dealing with certain things for a while, and I'm just tired of the enemy stealing things from me. I don't want the enemy to steal or destroy anything else from me. I want everything that God has for me. So I'm going to continue to fight as hard as I can. I'm going to continue to move forward as much as I can, knowing that whenever I get weak is when God actually, He can work through me the best, because now I've decreased myself. I've decreased my flesh. I'm moving my flesh out of it, and I'm allowing God to come in and strengthen me with His supernatural power. I'm allowing God to lead me and guide me in the best way to achieve what it is that He needs me to achieve in that season. So I'm not sure, who needed to hear this or who resonate with it. But I felt the need to come and speak on it, because I too am, dealing with extreme warfare. I too am, I too am affected, sometimes emotionally and mentally by it. And those are the tools that I use to help me to get through it. And when I look back, I realize that I've come so far. I'm not the person that I was when I first began this walk. I'm not the same person I was, or I'm not dealing with the warfare the same way I did when I first started out. And it had a lot to do with me heeding the instruction that God gives me constantly, which is fix my gaze on Him, keep my focus on Him and the things that He's told me to do. And everything else will work out in its timing. Again, pray your way through it. Focus on God. Work your way through it with the things that He's told you to do. Praise and worship. Oh my gosh, that is such a powerful tool that we don't always utilize. And, for a really fair reason. When you're going through, it's really hard to praise and worship, because it's like, because it's like a getting out of your flesh scenario. You have to focus on getting out of your flesh and putting your mind onto something other than you and your situation. But when you learn how to do that, you'll realize how much of a huge relief praise and worship can really be in those extreme situations or any situation. So again, I hope that whoever this resonate with, help them or bless them. And until next time, you have a good one.